Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a preview for DC Pride Tim Drake Special number 1. This is the breakout story from Batman Urban Legends, collected in one volume for the very first time, just in time for Pride Month. So last week we got a lot of the DC Pride. We got the DC Pride anthology. We saw a bunch of the DC Pride variants. But in this issue, we get 3 different stories. They all focus on Tim Drake's search for a missing friend, and just kind of bring in an aspect of Tim Drake that was revealed during the stories. This is when Tim kind of comes to realize his identity as a bisexual man. So this, like I mentioned, collects stories, but from a prior book. But let's take a look at the creative team first. We'll talk a little bit more about those stories and why you should pick up this book if you're a fan of Tim Drake. So in this issue, we get 3 different stories. The first one is Some of Our Parts, written by Meghan Fitzmartin, art by Belen Ortega, colors by Alejandro Sanchez, and letters by Pat Brosseau. We also have the Happy Holidays special, A Carol of the Bats, written by Meghan Fitzmartin, Alberto Jimenez on art, Alberto Jimenez, Albuquerque, apologies, and Nick Filardi in colors, and letters by Pat Brosseau. And lastly, we do get a brand new story, The Elephant in the Room, also written by Meghan Fitzmartin, with art by Belen Ortega, colors by Luis Ortega, and Pat Brosseau on letters. So, as I mentioned before, this issue collects the first story, the Some of Our Parts. It is collected from the anthology book Batman Urban Legends. Issues 4, 6, and 10 contains part 1, 2, and 3, which you'll kind of see get broken in here. Now, I guess I do want to say as Batfleck would say, the Gotham in me sees this as like DC just trying to reprint some material. But I think in this case, they do a good job of making sure that it's something that makes sense to collect. Because sometimes when we have books like Urban Legends, it's hard to know how the collection will come out. But in this case, we have a special book just for Tim Drake, which I think is very important as he's come to kind of find this about himself, and just kind of change and have a new arc as a character in DC Comics. So I know a lot of people don't like when publishers just kind of take old stories and collect them again, but in this case, I think this is a way to give a lot of fans of Tim Drake that maybe are not current on the books, or maybe don't want to purchase an $8 book monthly, the Batman anthology, the Batman Urban Legends, but they still get to read the story that is pivotal to a character that we love. So let's take a look at some of the preview art here. If I don't have any preview art for the last story, but you can see here Some of Our Parts has some beautiful stuff. I love the design of the Robin costume on this one, and it's really cool to see Tim Drake here talking to Oracle. Tim Drake's dialogue, and I think Brosseau does amazing work with the lettering to clearly distinguish between dialogue, narrative, and then also just kind of what the characters are thinking or communicating. So here we have this mission. Now in this one, in this story, Tim Drake is searching for a missing friend who's been kidnapped by villains known as the Chaos Monsters, and this is the part that leads Tim to realize, his identity. So this is kind of like where we have the beginning of the story, and I just love the angles that the artist takes. I love the line work. It looks very. It gives it a lot of dynamism to the panels as he drops from the building, and there's a feeling of like, yeah, this is somebody that has worked with Batman, has been trained by Batman, but it's his own person as well. And Tim Drake is good enough that he can do a lot of the stuff while still talking to Oracle and multitasking. But then there comes a time where Tim Drake also, I feel like he's one of the people in the Bat family that sometimes does need time to himself. He's more independent, more of an individual than some of the other characters. I feel like the other characters, I would say Tim is a little bit more of an introvert in the fact that he just has those. He does have the need for a little time for himself and a little bit more privacy, whereas some of the other members of the Bat family probably don't. So overall, I highly recommend you check this out if you're a fan of Tim Drake. I'll be picking it up because there are some really cool variant covers. But I already have the Batman Urban Legends books, right? But I also really enjoyed the other two story, especially the new story. Tim gets to work with some of his former members of the Young Justice and the Batgirl. So like it's really cool to see him kind of cross paths again. So highly recommend that story. That one is The Elephant in the Room. So very much enjoyable. I think this book is very much worth picking up. So let me know if you do in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. I'm going to leave you with a look at the covers for this issue. So as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.